Yeah. It's very foggy. You can't even see the river. I need water. Lake. It's a lake. It's a pond. What's the difference? Jesus. Just pull this out. Oh. Hey, Jennifer. Good morning. Shit. I haven't even had coffee yet. I'm gonna try something that I've never tried before. I'm gonna try to put some of this protein in my coffee and see if it'll melt down. The benches are wet. Go away. I'm gonna do... We're making breakfast, but I need coffee first. I'm gonna just try a third. Let's see. That. Every time I heat this protein here, it sticks. I don't know why. It's kind of cold. Cups already. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. We'll get there. So I went and bought eggs. I have country grits with ham and avocado, and I'm gonna make a bowl. I'm starving. I woke up hungry. I woke up super early. I've been editing videos for like 4 hours, and then I had to go to the bathroom, and then I got eggs. I stopped and got eggs because it was the cheaper thing. I don't know where this, let's see if this blends. I don't know where this hunger comes from, but I used to never be hungry like this in the mornings. It's only when I came at damn Suboxone that now I'm starving in the mornings. But normally I would wake up and take the Suboxone, so that's why. Because it's heroin. Well, it's a partial agonistic. This is not breaking down. This is what I hate about these proteins. Some of them do, some of them don't. I have one that does. This completely coagulated. That means it's shitty protein in my opinion. If it won't break down, I have no use for it. Because I use it for multiple reasons, you know, multiple ways. I don't like that cold shit. It's shittier protein in my opinion. Can't win. So I do have one that'll break down. I wanted to try that. We're gonna do the rise because this won't break down even with heat. That can't be good. If it won't break down in heat, what does it do in your stomach? Shit. I'm having a rough morning already, if you can't tell. It's just hope this isn't an indication of how my day is going to be. I want to get off as soon as possible because I don't want bacon on my oven. Jeez Louise. It's too early. I had caffeine. My caffeine coagulated. Alright. Jesus freaking Christ. Gotta be so difficult. I just need to know. Let's try this shit again. Third time. Damn, I got it everywhere. Watching it now. I just don't want that milk everywhere. Damn it, it's everywhere. We're gonna leave that off. Oh, you know what I forgot? That round container of wipes. That's what I needed, that round container. Okay. Park Ranger. Let's try this again. Oh shit. Thought I had already opened this. Son of a git. Don't do what I do. I can't get in here. There we go. So this stuff breaks extremely well in coffee. You can use it as creamer. It doesn't coagulate and it does not leave gritty bits in your coffee. 10 out of 10 protein. Highly recommend. One of my favorites. Hold on one second. Ooh. Y'all, I need to invest in a blender so fucking bad. Damn it. See if I can move it. I don't want a blender bottle. I want a blender. A blender bottle would be wasteful. If I'm going to buy a blender bottle, you just need to buy a blender. You ain't got room for all that shit in your car. You got room for one cup, one pan, one spoon, one fork. If you're going to buy a blender, just buy the damn portable $40 blender from Walmart. Don't waste your time with a fucking blender bottle because you're going to be wasting space. It's not practical to have a blender bottle. Not to mention those fuckers stink. And they get super dirty. Okay. Damn. I gotta wash this pan. those little portable blenders are so easy to clean too. Hooks up on a USB cord, any standard car outlet. So I've never used this water hook, but we're gonna do it. I don't know how much I need for damn grits. How much water does it say? Half a cup of boiling water. I need about a cup then. And some of it'll burn off. I got coffee every freaking where. Went into the gas station. The lady that was in there was super nice. I love when that happens first. It's always nice when you meet people that don't hate themselves, because so many people do nowadays, and it shows. All right, I'm gonna start on my avocado. I'm too lazy to go get a knife, so I'm just gonna cut it with a fork, which is my preferred method anyways. Pull that bitch apart. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Where am I gonna put it now? I'm gonna go ahead and get that pit out. I just squeeze it. Well, usually it popped out. Trying not to waste any avocado. I've got seasoning for this. It's gonna go on top of our grit bowl. That coffee is a spot, y'all. I don't know what's going on this morning. Let me find out I can't even make coffee nowadays. Let me cut this down. Mixing our grits with country. It's got little pieces of ham in it. Cut this down. I don't want it to boil. I want it to kind of simmer. Damn, I'm using a spoon. This thing is. That ain't gonna work. Them grits fluff up. Just want to make sure I have enough water to actually boil the grits because they have to cook. Alright. I used like a pack and a half. Those things are really good for you. Grits are full of vitamins and minerals that are essential in a diet. I'm gonna let those sit. I don't want to run the damn... I don't want them to boil because then they'll burn. I don't know what's going on though. I guess everybody's back to work because everybody was rushing around the island this morning trying to get there. I don't know if it's because I mixed two protein things together, but it was so thick. I drank half. I want to eat my breakfast, so I need a towel. Salt, pepper, onion powder. It's actually not onion powder. It's dried onion. I'm gonna put black pepper, the avocado. Make sure to close that back up. Salt. Damn it. Can't figure out those. Let's see what the grits look like. Okay, they're thickening up. I think I made the right move. Let me see. They have pieces of bacon in them. Hello, hello. Oh, those got a kick, like a salty kick. I'll let them cook for another minute or two. Hell, and they might need some more water. It says to add half a cup of water. They don't know how to cook damn grits, because if you added half a cup of water, these things would be so thick you wouldn't be able to eat them. You absolutely have got to add about a cup of water. How is the directions that far off? Or does Quaker not know how to actually cook grits, even though they sell them? They're not supposed to be gritty. They fluff up when they're cooked. And you got a little grit, but those are not done. So I'm gonna put some more water because I like mine done. Put that back on there. Eggs. I need the pan. I still haven't had coffee because I don't know what the fuck is going on. I had half of that one, but let those again. Try this shit for the fourth damn time. I mean, you don't know until you try something, so here we go. Let's try again. Black coffee. Grits look good. I need coffee. I wish I could sit down, but the bench is wet. So I can't. Where did I put that pack of coffee? Folgers. Y'all would be sounding like monkeys and shit are in the damn woods. I'm not even joking. I wonder if there are. I wonder if they have them down here. Shit, it's tropical enough. I'm surprised you don't see them everywhere. Y'all hear that? When I came in, there was like 6 squirrels in the road. I was dodging squirrels left and right. I'm like, God, oh God. And then 4 more would run out and I'm like, oh God. They're running for their lives. I don't want it too hot because I don't want to scald the coffee. Hey, that looks like a brew to me. I need a fork or a spoon. There's grits on it. And avocado. Just what I want in my morning coffee. Avocado and grits. All right. 4th time's a charm, right? Unbelievable. Let's try that first. See if it breaks down. Somebody please make protein that doesn't coagulate. This is breaking down, so that's good. I knew I'd use it as cream before. I don't know why it fuzzed up in that other one, but probably because the other one was made out of protein itself. Somehow I gotta cut these things. I'm just gonna use my grit spoon. Are you for real right now? If you don't damn get in this pan and act right, I am starving. Why y'all gotta put so much liquid in these shits? I hate just because they put all that juice in there. You get that shit in your car, you'll never get the smell out. They can't package them without the juice. You know what else I hate like that? Watermelon. You know when you get those packages in the damn grocery store, they got all that liquid at the bottom? It makes my stomach hurt. I don't know what that is. I guess it's just settlement from the damn fruit. Alright, eggs, grits. Let's check them. They look perfect. They're gritty. They got country bacon. I don't know if I'll eat all those, but no, they're done. You need to add like a couple. I don't know about that half a cup. I need red pepper. Just warming my eggs up with a little bit of crushed red pepper. Where is salt and pepper? Pepper. Salt. Maybe. Raggedy shit. Come on, man. I guess I need to buy me one that damn I can crack myself, right? Onions. I like a lot of onion. It's just chopped, minced onion. Alright. Red pepper. Ooh-ah! Warm those up. And then I need avocado spread for my avocado. I just like to put a little bit of on this. Maybe. Sorry, I inhaled something. What the heck? Getting it everywhere. The birds will thank me later. So good. I think you're supposed to mix it up in there, but half the time I don't. Oh, this spoon is wretched. This fork. I ain't never. Alright. A mess. I made a mess. Alright. Eggs. eggs. Egg. Get in there. Egg. Oh. Y'all. Alright, avocado. I'm just gonna mix this up a little bit in here. Damn it. Helps if you don't do it over the table. Especially if you're outside, just do it over the ground. Avocado. That's good. I'm just gonna squeeze this one out. One second. I need avocado on my fingers. Salt. I need salt. I have a hotter one, but I don't want to eat a hotter one, so I'm just gonna do this one. Sauce on that side. Avocado, eggs, and ham grits. So good. I gotta try a bite. I already know this is about to be like an 8 out of 10. Damn. I was gonna cook some spam with it, but screw it. Let's try one of the eggs. Well, I can't cut it. Egg. I want more of that sauce. You know what? I want to try this one on the egg. They're the same thing, but one's hotter than the other. This is a honey sriracha, and that is peach bourbon. I don't know how to say this company. Tarbonero. They got good sauce. Avocado and grit. I really want to focus on more of the eggs and avocado in this bowl than the grits, but I did need a pre-workout staple, like a carb. So good. That one too. Both of them are just perfection. Anyone caught lying will be blocked. One that retracts messages will be blocked. You're an adult. Act like it. Anyone that floods the chat will be blocked. Good morning, Shane, Jennifer. Hello, Clay. Good morning, Ted. Dawn. Whew. Oh, sorry. I was going to show you my breakfast. Did I show you my breakfast? So good. Grit ball. I was about to starve. I woke up, started working early, and was starved by the time I left my parking spot to go find a restroom. Dang it. My eggs are falling apart. So good. Coffee. Morning. You know, I still don't like the live feature on this thing. I think it's stupid. Like, how can I explain it? I don't need that much interaction from people. I'm purposely alone. You know what I mean? Like, the less interaction I have to have with people, the better off I am. I didn't start this channel to have interaction with people. I started the channel to tell my story and shed some light on all of the lies of society. The systems, the parts that work behind the scenes that I know about that most people don't. A mess. It's about to be the first of the year. So that's what we're going to be focusing on this year. We're going to refocus on the whole reason I started this channel. I need to refocus. You know, there's a reason that God kept me alive, and I want to show him my appreciation by doing good in the world. I've always been that way since I was little, and I've been condemned and punished for that. This is so good. Avocado and eggs. I told you I wanted to focus on the eggs and the good one. I need to use these grits. I've had them in the truck for 2 months now. Those packages, humidity will get in those packages. That is the only sad thing about grit stuff. If you buy these, you need to keep them somewhere dry because the humidity will get to them and it'll get in this paper. So you got to use them, I would say, within a month or two if you're living in muggier climates. Like at the how muggy it is. So it's very humid here right now. It's probably 100%. It rained for the past, like, it never rains here. That's what's crazy. It literally never fucking rains here. And it has rained the entire past 3 months. And I asked a native, I said, dude, is it like raining a lot? He was like, yes. He was like back in August, he was like, it rained for the entire month almost. But isn't that hurricane season? I don't know. I think it is in Florida, which is not. So that would explain that. But he said that it never rains here. And then they call it the Sunshine State for a reason, mainly because it's sunny like 200 days out of a damn year, probably more than that. There's 365. So it's 80% sunny here throughout the year, if not more. That really has an impact on your mental health. If you're someone like me who gets seasonal depression to the point that you fall into a deep depression and you can't eat for a week and you can't leave the house for a month, you need to think about relocating, babe. That's no normal life. There were times in the winter months I look back on 2020 and 21 and 22, I would not leave the house for weeks at a time. I would go buy all my groceries in advance and not leave the house. That's how depressed I was. I mean, I think we all were because of COVID, but this was different. It's been that way my whole adult life. It's like I'm around 9 months out of the year. It's 3 winter months. You just don't see Brooke. And that's a recipe. I mean, that's isolation. That's not good for your brain. It's not good for your anything. Your mental health, your physical well-being. It's no life. You have to get out and be around. I know it sucks. I hate people too. But even just going to Walmart and dealing with this, that's something, man. At least it gets you out the house. And you ain't got to really deal with, well, I mean, you do, but you don't. You know what I mean? Moving into my car, definitely, you have to deal with society a lot. It's a headache. Jeez, Brooke. But it's not all bad. I guess it could be worse. I could be stuck in North Carolina. I got grits everywhere, bro. This is a messy meal, for sure. Avocado, boiled eggs. I think I might make me another damn coffee if I can find a damn clean. Everything's... Good morning, C. I know, ain't it so pretty? The trees are just lovely. They're my favorite. Shit's what dreams are made of. And I got the whole place to myself. I guess it's a foggy morning. Nobody wants to be out here. Good. At least I got the place to myself. I love that. If I go to town and I gotta like go to Walmart, something like that, I'm wholeheartedly expecting to have to deal with people. But when I'm somewhere like this, I want to deal with them fuckers. That's why I'm on a that's why I'm on a almost 500 acre damn park. I'm trying to escape people. You know what I mean? It's one thing to like sign up to go to the damn county fair. It's a whole nother thing. You damn find one of the largest parks on the East Coast to go hide in. And you still got to deal with people. So it's nice when they're not here and I got coffee under my damn leg with my stove. Jeez. So we're gonna make another protein coffee. Good morning, D. Devo. Am I saying that right? Betty. Yeah, she's filthy. She's a dirty girl. A dirty girl. She sure is. There's mud everywhere. Hell, at this point, I was having fun with it. I was running through mud puddles on my way, and I said, she's already dirty. Might as well dirty her up some more. I gotta get a clean kitchen towel. I really don't even care that there's a mess. There's nobody here. I might just go get my ass back into bed, for real. No, I'm joking. I have so much to do today. I've got 50 important fucking phone calls to make, emails to send out. I got bills to pay. I'm stressed about that. Fucking, I need to pay my storage bill. I ain't been able to get in touch with this bitch. Listen, I ain't trying to be mean. I ain't been able to get in touch with this lady. You say you own a business. One thing I wouldn't do owning a business is take an entire 10 days off for fucking Christmas. Call me crazy. But that's almost 10 weeks of vacation time. Excuse me, I thought you were running a business. Or you run vacation. They ain't but 30 days in the month. If you take 10 of them off, you spent half the time you spent working on vacation. Am I wrong? What the hell is wrong with people, y'all? I just know if I was running a business, we'd probably be open 7 days a week because I'm poor. It pisses me off when business owners don't have... it's just out of touch, bro. And you got people over here during the holidays stressed about whether or not they're going to lose their personal property because you ain't been open for 10 days. 2 weeks. 2 weeks because they're not open on the weekend. So them 10 days was literally 2 weeks. I'm not exaggerating. 2 weeks. 2 whole business weeks, bruh. When you want me to pay you? Shit stresses me out. You think they give a fuck? No. Just like she didn't give a fuck when somebody broke the damn lock off my fucking locker and then shut back on and then it never worked again. Completely broke. Had to buy a whole new lock. But for real, must be nice to make so much money you can just take off half months. Don't even need to run that business. You know what I mean? You don't even need that money. And then you put all of the customers in a bind right before the 1st of the month, worried about whether or not they're going to be able to get in touch with you. Because I don't even know if she's open today. And tomorrow's New Year's, ain't it? Something like that. I'm just saying, if I ever own a business, you can count on me to be open probably 7 days a week. Absolutely. It's a full-time fucking job, you know? I probably done made all her money, but it's still wrong to do your customers like that, in my opinion. Well, I don't own a business. That's probably why, because I got a good heart. I'd never do people like that. I'd be calling them a week before. Hey, just want to let you know, we're probably going New Year's, so we won't be open for the 1st, but if you're not able to make your payment on the 20th or the 30th or however fucking months there are in days in December, we'll make sure to get it on the 2nd. Don't worry. No email, no phone call, no nothing. Just me calling for 2 weeks, wondering when the hell they gonna be back open. It's fine. It is what it is, you know? And she's been pretty cool, other than damn the type of people she rents to, but I guess she's got to rent, dude. Listen, I just know I wouldn't be renting no motherfucking meth heads. I ain't dealing with the shit. That's another thing. If I was a business, I ain't putting up with that shit like these business owners do out here. Absolutely not. You can go be methed out of your minds elsewhere, Chelsea. And then we all get punished when one of them dies in the bathroom, and then we can't use the bathroom no more. You stop by a damn gas station nowadays, and they're like, we don't have a bathroom, when they clearly have 3. Okay. And then there ain't but like 2 or 3 bathrooms, so then you start using those on a consistent basis, and you get crazy looks because they're wondering why you're in there so damn much. They're like, why does this girl's been here 3 times today? Chelsea died down the road at the other bathroom, so it's not available for me anymore. I'm not laughing at Chelsea's death. I'm just saying, you know, like... At least when they doing that meth, at least you know they ain't gonna die. I'm sorry, it's true though. They gonna be tweaked out of their mind, but they ain't gonna die. They'll be fine. Not unless they die from not eating or they get hit by a car because they were tweaking. They'll be fine. That methamphetamine won't hurt them. I mean, it does, but you know what I mean. They ain't gonna OD in the bathroom. All right, coffee. I can't believe I beat that pan on the ground, and look at it. I chipped had it for over 10 years. I've had these pots and pans. Some damn oodles and noodles. Oh, 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 oh. You lock it. Oh, there's a hair there. Oh, that's mine. All right, I need to throw this away, get the sauce bag to put these back up. Somebody's coming in. Ain't a creeper? Probably not. Probably some old people. It's really foggy. I don't know how they'd be working out here today. Or you can barely see your damn hand in front of your face. It's a truck. It's a F50. F50. Something. Oh, and tell me why I feel like I'm a thief. Listen, this is how... I ain't even doing nothing. I walk up in the gas station. I buy me some boiled eggs. And then I scoot by and pick me up a couple packs of mayonnaise, some mustard. Every time I do this, though, it makes me feel like a thief. But I've turned into my grandmother. I got sauce on sauce on sauce. This whole bag is full of sauces. And it's my seasoning bag. It's a F-150 with a special front end. People are so weird, y'all. Like, weirdos. Where's the damn lid? Damn, I forgot to wash this. Oops. Sir, that is not a... Sir, that's what I be talking about. Like, people just be weird. It's not even a parking spot. Nobody else is here, right? Do what you want. All right, let's fade away. You know, I'm gonna leave this out just in case I need to use it as like a torture device or something in a minute. I don't know what the hell is going on. Dude is being creepy. First of all, he's not even parked properly in a parking space. He's completely diagonal in like 5 different parking spaces. And I don't know, man. There's something about like me being out here by myself. I guess dudes see me like, I don't know. If you're a woman, you know exactly what I mean. I can't put it into words. They're just creeps. I guess it's always a nice day to come to the park and stalk some poor woman, right? Y'all, what the fuck, man? I'm out of coffee. I'm out of coffee. Damn, I just wasted this water. Son of a bitch. I need to wash this. He might be going to fish, but still, that ain't a parking spot, bro. It's that weird shit that creeps me out. It's like, are you just dumb or are you just inconsiderate? Oh, okay. They just don't care. Nobody cares, you know? Look, I need to wash that. This has got dish soap on it. I'm gonna wash this. Go in the truck. It's cold. I'm gonna let that. This is still hot. Ow, 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 ow. It usually cools down quick though. 5 minutes, not even. So something else that's super creepy is that he hasn't got out of the vehicle. So we're gonna go back to where there's park rangers and park staff and people that can hear us. I'm gonna go ahead and wash these. Rinse this coffee cup out. It's coming clean, yay! Sometimes stuff is harder to get off than others, I'll tell you that much. It's on my nerves. One thing we'll do before we leave the park today is, now he's pulling off. Did y'all hear that? He just cranked up his car. Definitely being a creep right now. The fact that the way he parked to look at me gives it all away. You have to pay attention to people's actions, y'all. Perverts out here nowadays are stupid too. They think that you're stupid and you're like, bro, I already peeped your game. Like, I'm literally a girl out here by myself. There's no one out here but me and him. He put the truck in a way so he can watch and see what I'm doing. He didn't go into a parking space. He avoided a parking space and parked in 4 other people's parking spaces. He's in like 6 spaces, parked diagonally. Like, if you don't want people to think you're a creep, don't do creepy shit. Park in a fucking parking space like normal people. What's wrong with people, y'all? Now he's creeping up. He's creeping up. Creeping up. Yep. Heavy set white guy. Mid 40s, 50s. Fucking creep. It's always the same suspect. If he turns in this driveway, we're gonna have problems. Because he's creeping over here. Yeah, you better go on, buddy. Weirdo. Like, there is nobody out here. First of all, he pulls up right here at the post, and he parked, like, right in between the fucking posts. And then he goes creeping up, like he wasn't even a parking spot. Like, if you don't want people to think you're creepy, don't act creepy. You're fucking creeping around me, like, being nosy. He just had to stop and see what I was doing. If I wouldn't have been out here, he would have kept on his merry fucking way. Yo, when you get the same type of person every single day, 5, 6 times a day, you pick up on these behavioral patterns. It's not rocket science. It's basic human psychology. You know, I understand that the male population is out here struggling, lonely and shit. Maybe if you didn't act like that, you'd have a girlfriend. Maybe if you park in a fucking parking spot and not stare at me for 30 fucking minutes. It was like 10, but still. Fill this up, but I need to wash this side. Damn, this shit. I don't want this shit in my car off this table. Guess they don't wash them, huh? I might gotta get a new one of these eventually, because it looks like this one is getting rather dirty. And I had to put this towel to set on because the damn bench is wet. And if it gets the rag like that, imagine what your butt would look like. Thank God. I'm so glad to see families out here. The reason I come, because there's usually a lot of families out here, and you ain't got to worry about creeps like that usually. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. It's too early. I ain't had but a damn cup of coffee. Mornings are my favorite time to fight. So foggy. I wonder if this shit's gonna clear up, because I'm gonna work out. Ah, shit. I got grits in my teeth, y'all. I gotta brush my teeth. Was that the clean one or the dirty one? Clean one. Put it back in the door. Here is. There it is. Toothbrush. Good morning, Laura. Yeah, more people are creepy than not. It's an epidemic. It's an epidemic, like stupidity. Damn it. I was trying to grab one at the same time. Got me a case of water yesterday. Need that. Hey, there's some caffeine. I'm gonna drink that. What is all over my pants? Sand. How? Oh no, it's that freaking avocado seasoning that I told you to dump on the ground. Oh, that's why you don't listen to me, because the wind blew it all over me. God, today is gonna be busy as fuck. I just can't even like think right now. So frustrating. That lady is supposed to be calling me back about that fucking computer. I done told her, I said, if it's not included, then I'm not doing it. I can't do it. And matter of fact, I ought to demand fucking Starlink, but I can't do that. Financial aid won't cover that. Even though it should. Even though it should. It should absolutely cover Wi-Fi. I don't know. Not everybody has Wi-Fi in their house. I don't know why they act like this is like everybody has Wi-Fi. They don't. It should absolutely be included in financial aid. If a student needs Wi-Fi for at-home services to go to school online, like I'm going to be doing, they absolutely should pay for Starlink and or Wi-Fi services. Not every student can afford that. Not every person has that. That's a luxury item that people have gotten used to, and they act like everybody has it, and they don't. It is so expensive to get Wi-Fi. So that's not a luxury that every family has or student. And that's kind of bullshit when it's a necessity to do online school. So she's supposed to be letting me know if financial aid is going to cover my computer, or if they're going to rent me a computer, or if I'm supposed to be issued one. They don't even fucking know. How do you not know that? That's literally the most imperative part of everything, is whether or not I have the capabilities to do online school. It's literally should be covered by financial aid. At the very least, you can rent me one. So I don't know. I find out today what the plan is. And I guess I'm glad that I handled this now, because I still have 2 weeks before school would start anywhere. And I've got 6 other schools that I'm looking at. So if it falls through with this one, I'm just going to go to the next one. If it falls through with that one, I'm just going to go to the next one. And I've got 2 weeks to do it. And all of the 7 schools that I'm looking at, I qualify for. Financial aid will cover the cost of my tuition. It's just whether or not they're going to cover the cost or give me a computer. Cover the cost of a computer or give me a computer to use for the semester. So whichever school wants to accommodate me the most, that's where I'm going to end up. How about that? Do things my way. Greensboro College is tripping. They are smoking crack for the tuition that they ask for is ridiculous. I don't care that it's a private college. Someone should not have to take out a fucking mortgage on their home to pay for a fucking semester of school. Greensboro College is a fucking joke. Waste of money. Stop wasting your money at these bullshit schools that don't want to accommodate you and help you achieve your dreams and goals. Stop giving your money to people that can't answer simple questions as student advisors. Like what job you would qualify in what degree. That is literally their job to know. So anyone that doesn't know that answer, you don't need to be going to their college, because they're not even smart enough to be in their fucking position. And that tells you everything you need to know about that school. A student advisor is supposed to advise students. Advise them on what classes to take, what major to go into, you know. And actually, I'll go a step further. A student advisor is supposed to be able to hone in on each student and judge by their character, their personality, and what they're representing to you. You're supposed to be able to hone in on what they would be good at and give them options. Bring back colleges that know what they're doing. Bring back advisors that know how to advise. It's really pathetic. I mean, everything that Jordan talks about, I see for myself in my dealings with societies. You know, he says that our education system is front and center why America is getting dumber, why people are in depression, why people suffer from so many more mental ailments, physical ailments. It all falls back on the colleges. It does. The woke mind virus that is polluting society, it falls back on the colleges. So that is a fact. Jordan talks about this extensively. And that has been my experience with dealing with student advisors. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to advise. They don't even know their job qualifications. Like, they don't even qualify for the job that they're in, and they don't even know what their job qualifications are once they're in that position. It's like, wait a second. If I ask you what I can do with an education degree, early childhood development, if I ask you what I can do with that degree, you should be able to spit off 10 jobs that I would qualify for. If you're unable to do that, please retire. Please quit your job today, because you are adding to the evilness and the bullshit. What is that noise? So, you know, like, if I say, oh, well, what would I qualify for if I got my welding certificate? You should be able to list off 10 jobs that I would qualify for. That is your job as an advisor. If I say, oh, what credits do I need to graduate? And I've already done 2 semesters of college. You should be able to tell me, as my advisor, what credits I need to graduate with that degree. They can't do this. Listen to what I'm telling you. You walk into a college, you say, oh yeah, I'm interested in taking a few classes. I can't do a full major right now. And they immediately try to get you to declare a major, which is fucked up in itself. If someone is telling you that they can't afford that nice fucking car, stop trying to push that fucking car on them. You don't give a fuck if they lose their house over that car payment. We have got to stop the fucking madness, and it's not rocket science. These advisors immediately go into trying to get you to declare a fucking major. Then when you ask him, oh, what can I do with a paralegal license? Well, we don't really exactly know. And I'm like, oh, and I test them on this. I say, oh, it's okay, I can Google it. When I hear the stress and anxiety in their voice, I say, it's fine, I'll Google it. Y'all think I'm joking? I can record some of these. I will. I should. The problem is I don't know if I can get in trouble for recording colleges without their knowledge, but I can, and I will. It's pathetic. And the saddest part is that 16 to 19-year-old students who have no idea what they want to do are going into these colleges, and they're being bamboozled by every single staff member in these colleges. All they're after is money. They try to make these kids declare a major right off the fucking jump, regardless if it blends with their life or it's going to put their life in danger. They don't give a fuck. They just want the money. And at the end of the day, they deliver bullshit education, brainwashing, propaganda. And these poor kids are getting out of college and they can't even fucking find a job because they got a 2-year degree in DEI programs. You can just literally make up a fucking degree nowadays and say, oh, seriously. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do today, but they better have me a fucking computer. That's all I know. You better get it fucking figured out one way or another without me having to sign shit. I'm not paying for fucking school when I have more than enough money to go to college and it be paid for. I've been having money setting for a minute. You know what I mean? It's just, and I want to do what I want to do. So I want to take my 2 classes like I did semester before last. That's all that I can handle right now. That's going to be 50 hours a fucking week for 2 classes. 2 classes. So imagine a full caseload. I couldn't even. I don't know. So if they're not going to allow me, if they're not going to give me a computer, then I don't even want you to buy me one. I want you to let me rent one or, you know, whatever. Issue me one at the beginning of the semester. That's what I've usually had done up until semester before last. That shit, it seems like they're They're wanting students to have their own fucking computers. Ain't nobody got a fucking $1,000 to go buy a fucking computer, okay? And that's what a good one would cost. So, yeah, they're smoking crack if they think for a minute that my little Samsung can do all the work that they're expecting me to do. It's really bullshit that they don't understand that they're, you know, they do understand. They don't care. That's the problem. They don't care that they're putting students in a bad position. There are people out here that are my age that went to college. They had hundreds of thousands, and I'm being specific. There's a woman, there's a short you can go find. Her student loans are like $100 and something thousand, and after 10 years of fucking paying, or no, it was longer than that. Over 10 years of paying on them, they were still at $110,000. And she's like, how am I going to do this? She's like, this is impossible. She's like, only 20% has come off the top in like over a decade. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I have money to go to school. I have financial aid. I also have grants, and I also have scholarship money. I've been setting on this money since I was 16 years old and graduated from school. The schools that gave me this scholarship money are going to still continue to give me the scholarship money. I've already asked. Already been in contact with them. They're going to validate it. They're going to still pass that money over. I don't want to waste this money. So I'm going to do class by class. And then when I get up enough credits and have to declare, I guess I will. But right now, there's certain things that I want to focus on. Number one, reading and writing. Number two, I need a computer class. So that's what we're doing this semester. If they're gonna force me to sign on some fucking dotted line for some bullshit and declare a major, I just ain't fucking with them. I ain't got time for it. I'm a grown-ass adult now. I didn't know that I didn't have to declare a major, and I'm here to tell you that you don't. Any college that is trying to force you to declare a major is fucking scam artist. You should be allowed to go take you 2 or 3 classes at any fucking community college in this country without any bullshit, without taking out student fucking loans, especially as a lifelong learner, if that's what you want to do. The stress that comes behind these colleges and the pressure that these young kids, their kids, have on them is unbelievable. Even as a 30-something-year-old woman, it is extremely stressful. I can see the scams from a mile away. Kids can't, though, and that's the problem. And my parents didn't even graduate high school, so they couldn't guide me through college, you know? They weren't even fucking alive when it was time for me to fucking go to college, so, you know. Then there's that, but it's been stressful, and now they're giving me a hard time about this computer situation. And once again, the people, and she might not be an advisor, she might be somebody else, but once again, you should know these details. If I have questions, it is your job to answer them. If you don't know, then you send me to somebody who does know. You don't tell me, oh, I can't answer that, I don't know. Oh, well, I'm sorry, I can't go to your motherfucking college. Why do I want to go somewhere where nobody knows any fucking thing? I thought y'all was supposed to be teaching me something. Call me crazy. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. $6,000 is a lot of damn money. It sure is. It sure is. Do you know what I could do with $6,000? A lot. A lot. Probably build me a fucking home on my truck bed. Hell, I don't know. A lot. Pay my bills for my truck payment for the next damn year. That's a lot of money. And y'all out here signing student loans for 70, 80, 100, damn, 200 grand. Like, bruh. I guess if you got that crack money, whatever, you know, must be nice. $20,000 ain't bad. That ain't too bad. There's people that's got 50, 60. Yeah, they have to make money, but here's the thing. Yeah, they need to make money, but you tell me right now what school actually pays their educators. Yeah. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's beyond ludicrous. Ludicrous. It does not take that much money to educate anyone. What are you getting a fucking degree in? Rocket science? Like, seriously, 100 grand? That's a house. I don't care that it's 2025 almost. That's a house. That's a trailer. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely not. It's crazy. It's crazy. I watch kids down here get bamboozled every single fucking day through these colleges. Particularly Florida State at Jacksonville. $60,000 is what they wanted to charge me to go to school for 1 year. And it's not even a prestigious college. Sorry, I don't know who you think you are, but you're not Harvard, okay? That's a Harvard tuition, absolutely. But it's not. Harvard is probably triple of that. I don't even know. What I'm saying, though, is it's outrageous. And our education system is lacking. Okay, if you want to charge that kind of money, you need to have experts in there teaching students the right shit. The education is not matching up with the cost of the education. Tell me I'm wrong. It's crazy. It's sickening. It's infuriating for me because I have simple questions. What do I qualify for? And they can't even fucking tell me. Okay, so I can start on my paralegal license. It's going to take me 2 years, blah, 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 blah. What job positions do I qualify for? Where would I work? These questions can't be answered. But you want tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of jobs, thousands of dollars to educate me. But you can't even tell me what jobs I qualify for. The education is not matching up with the education. The money is not matching up with the education. It's ludicrous. It's a money racket. It's just like the medical industry. Our colleges are failing people. It's no secret. I'm not the only one that says this. I've learned from the best. They're failing people, and I've witnessed this myself. I know numerous people that have master's degrees, and they can't even fucking find work. Masters. Imagine going for a master's, getting all of that debt, and then not even being able to find a job. For years. Unemployable. They don't have the experience. They don't have this. They don't have that. It's always some fucking bullshit. And I really don't blame them, because if you met them, you'd be like, how the fuck do these people have masters? So I'm like, listen, if people like that can get fucking masters, I'll be fine in life. If I can just figure out how to fucking pay for it, get the Wi-Fi, and come up with a computer. I'll be fine. I gotta get clothes together. I mean, honestly, I would like to be excited about going to school. You know, I love it. I've always loved being in school. I had that taken away from me in my childhood. I didn't get to go to regular school like other students because I grew up in foster care and group homes. So I really enjoy school, and it's all I've wanted to do for over 10 years now, and I've not been allowed to do that. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be today, but it feels good out here. Close. And I've already started to notice cracks in the system, the way that they explain that we have to be logged in for our class hours. It doesn't even make sense. Like, it doesn't even make sense. No. You already know that. Anybody asking stupid questions is getting blocked. Yes, there's stupid questions. Absolutely. This channel has been open for how long? You already know what the deal is. Don't be stupid. So, I've already started to notice, because when I asked, about logging the class hours. It doesn't even make sense. I'm like, all right, so if I'm taking 2 classes, you want me on this part for 4 hours, and then you want me on this part for 4 hours. And they're like, oh, no, it doesn't matter which one. So I can spend all 8 class hours on one subject? She's like, you just have to be logged into the system and working on something. So how do you know I'm even learning? If I'm not going through curriculum packages, or I don't know what to call them, if I'm not going through like, kind of like book work, but when you're on the computer, you're going through different, it'll be like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you got to go through each package, and it's a bunch of work in each package. I don't know what the fuck to call it. Anyways, it's like book work, but on the computer. And I'm like, so it doesn't matter what I'm working on? And she's like, no. Listen, it sounds like one of them Strayer University fucking schools. It sounds like a Strayer University. And for those that don't know, any school that is not testing their students, in my opinion, it's not a reputable college. It's not. It's absolutely not. Because it is important that we have testing. SATs, EOGs, all of these things are so imperative to our education system. When you get rid of stuff like that and you start implementing this no child left behind attitude, it's impossible for society not to get dumber because there's no standard there. There's no way to ensure that people are even equipped enough to take in a major. You know, like, we have to have testing for specific reasons. It sets the bar, okay? A lot of these schools, especially in California, they're trying to end all of these testing measures that we have in our education system, and it's absolutely preposterous. This shit started with the Bushes and the Obamas. They created a program called No Child Left Behind. And pretty much what it is just like Planet Fitness taking the scales out of the gym. They don't want nobody feeling guilty about being dumb and not making good test scores. So they just drop the fucking bar and look at our education system. We had the lowest test scores in our nation's history. In the history of the United States this year, we had the lowest test scores overall in all of our schools. Go Google it. Go Google it. You think I'm joking? For the past 4 years, people have been getting dumber and dumber. And some might say, oh, well, we went through COVID, Brooke. Yeah, that didn't help. But you know what else doesn't help? Putting educators in classrooms that are full of propaganda instead of information, history, science, math. It's only going to get worse if they cut out testing like EOGs, SATs. All of these things are imperative to the education system that we have built in this country. They go back for generation after generation. And for a long good while there, between the early 1900s and the 1980s, we were pushing out brilliant people. Every decade, we had a list of brilliant people creating shit, doing good shit for this country. And look at that list now. We got Elon Musk. We got Elon Musk. Like, he's literally one of the few people out here doing what people in the 60s and 50s and 40s and 30s, you know, you think about people like Einstein, Edison, Tesla, you know, you got all of these wonderful inventors that were brilliant coming out of these prestigious colleges. Not anymore. Not anymore. This shit's got me stressed about school now. You know, another thing that I don't like is that there's not going to be like a lot of one-on-one time between me and my teacher. I'll have to correspond with my teacher between emails, which is fine, but like, there's no account there. There's no accountability there. You know what I mean? It's very concerning. And y'all want, you know, $6,000. So, I don't know. We'll see what they say. Tutor won't take financial aid, unfortunately. I think that in order for things to get better in the education system, we need to end the program No Child Left Behind, because what it's done is it's pulled all of the other children that were ahead back down to the level of the children that were falling behind. And we see that specifically in sanctuary cities where teachers who were already short-staffed post-pandemic, we already had an issue with not enough educators. Well, lo and behold, who would think that bringing anywhere from 11 to 20 something million illegal immigrants and children here, who would think that that would start to wear down the education system more? But I can assure you that it has. These teachers who were already, their time and energy was spread thin in sanctuary cities, specifically in cities like North Carolina, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Charlotte, Raleigh, all of these places have been affected by immigration. We see children that are American citizens, their grades slipping, their test scores not, the lowest in the nation's history this year. So we see the impact of immigration when we have teachers that are having to spend most of their one-on-one time with non-English speaking students, and American citizen students are not getting the time and attention that they typically would from educators because of this. This is a huge issue. And it's crazy because I saw last week several reports on this. And, the things that are imperative that we pick up on and pay attention to are completely swept under the rug by the media. But things like this, the fact that, our children's grades are slipping because of immigration, that's a huge issue. Any teachers, please share. But it's a huge issue, and it's a multitude of reasons why colleges and the education system is failing. A multitude of reasons, but I can see it, and I don't visit a school every day. I can see it, and I don't even step on school grounds every day. So, I want to hone into my intuition on these things and continue to talk about these things this upcoming year because they mean a lot to me. And this is the only way that I can help my children. So I have to do it from afar. And these things are important to me because I want them to grow up to be more educated than my parents taught me to be. It's unfortunate that my parents didn't graduate and they didn't teach us the stuff that was important. But this is how I can do it from afar, is by spreading awareness of the actual problems that we have in society, the cracks in our education system. And it's sad, it really is. The Biden administration has hurt this country in so many different ways that you can't even put it all into one sentence. I mean, the whole sentence would be a run-on paragraph of each different system they affected. Education, the economy, immigration. The list would just go on. There's so many people that has been affected by poor policies over the past 4 years. I'm so glad that Trump won and that he's going to be in office come the 20th. And we can see that he's already put people in positions of power that are taking their positions seriously. RFK, Vivek, Elon, Tulsi, Department of Homeland Security guy, the Border Caesar guy, what's his name, Tom Homan. All of these people are going to be imperative to fixing this country, and it needs to happen because no person, I don't care what college it is, no person should have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a damn education that is actually needed to survive and feed yourself. No person should have to go into 10 years, 20 years worth of damn debt. I mean, it's just crazy to me. We have an ass-backwards system that is only beneficial for these colleges. And surprise, surprise, they're not even teaching children anymore, nor is the public education system. It's crazy. It is. I seen 3 or 4 reports all in the same day. So it was kind of crazy because it was like one media channel got this information. It was like a report that came out through the Department of Education, and it was talking about how teachers are complaining that they can't spend time with their students because they're in the corner with non-English speaking students focused on them because these kids are coming from all over the fucking world and none of them know English. Imagine getting 2 new Chinese students, a Japanese student, 3 or 4, from different parts of South America, You know, this is the problem. And what happens is these teachers have to take on these students and start from scratch. And I saw a teacher last night. She was doing a psychological analyst. She's a early childhood development specialist, and brilliant girl. I can't think of her name's Hannah, and she does these psychological narrated videos of early childhood development stuff. And there is a vlogger mom who lives on a freaking school bus with 10 children. First of all, if I would have done that in 2016, they would have swore that I was a child abuser. But for some reason, this mommy blogger and her husband just had their eighth child. There's 10 of them all together. However, there's only 6 bunk beds in this house. And the parents sleep on a pullout in the living room. Where do those 2 other children sleep, you may ask? Great question. I hope CPS asked when they were over there, because they were investigated by CPS. CPS said, oh, it's fine. Hope you enjoy the Grand Canyon. And these people travel all over the country with their 8 children. They just had their 8th. And this girl, Hannah, does she psychoanalyzes this type of situation, you know, and this woman not only has all 8 children in less than 22 feet of space for each. This bus is only 200 square feet. There are 10 people living on this bus. 6 kids have 6 bunk beds in the back. Mommy and daddy sleeps on a pullout. Where the other 2 children sleep, we'll never know. One of them is an infant, and I do believe she said she had a baby bed. But that's still one child that doesn't have a bed. But what do I know? You know, it looks crazy to me, okay, because in 2016, they would have been considered child abuse, but, you know, nowadays, I guess things are different. So, the most disturbing part is that none of these children go to school. They're all homeschooled. The problem is, as Hannah states, you know, she's got like a damn master's or something, I don't know what she's got. Early childhood development, okay? She went to school for education and early childhood development, and when she says it, it sounds like 6 different damn jobs in one. Listen, you can tell the woman is highly educated. Something that Hannah points out is that all 6 of the kids, there are 6 or 7 of the kids that are in school are all in different grades. And she talks about how hard it would be to even come up with curriculum for all of those different grades, all in the same day, different, you know, because there's multiple subjects. We got math, reading, science, you know, there's tons of subjects. So how is she educating all of these children properly? And the answer is she's not. It would be impossible. And you apply that to non-English speaking students in school, nobody's getting an education. Nobody's getting an education. Teachers are spread so thin, nobody's getting a proper education. And I'll be damned if I'm going to spend my money, what money I have to go towards my future. I'll be damned if I'm going to waste it on some fucking college that can't even answer my questions. That's all I'm saying. Y'all can go sign up at Strayer University, go get your bullshit little degree that you didn't even have to get tested for. But I'm doing shit the right ways, where I get tested and I have teachers that care about my future just like I care about my future. I shouldn't have to wait 5 days on an email reply when I have a question about curriculum. It's just kind of crazy to me. It's like, what? That's not the school I grew up in. It's like, yeah, I got a teacher, but I only see her at end of semester testing. Huh? Like, would you learn from a book? I mean, and to me, that is not ample learning. That is not how people learn, is just reading something and then answering some test questions. Like, I don't know. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And then the fact they can't answer my questions is even more infuriating. It's like, wait a minute. Are you sure you're a teacher? You sure about that? You know, the thing is they want to get them in. They want to get them in. They want to get them online, and they want that money rolling in. When they push everything online like they do, they don't need educators. They say you have a teacher, but you don't talk to that bitch every day. You need to. That's part of damn going to school. So crazy. It's part of going to school. It's so crazy. Why are y'all fighting in the chat? Yeah, you think I'm joking about our children's education slipping because of immigration? Go check it out. Tons of reports. It was a assessment done, a report, a study that was done. Listen, I don't know. I just know that I saw all in the same day, 4 different news channels pick up the same damn article. And it's like, well, what did y'all expect? And this was right after Trump won his presidency. And I told you guys, I said, watch Trump win his presidency. And then we're going to hear all of this fucking shit come out. All of these secrets revealed. All of this, you know, actual news and reports and studies and statistics hit the market right after Trump wins. And it's happened. All you see now is you know, the media they're turning towards, you know, the deportation of illegals. They're turning towards law and order. They're turning towards, I mean, look at California enacting Prop 36 or whatever it is. They did that to be able to lock up criminals because they're scared, okay? They're tired of being robbed. They're tired of their businesses being robbed. They're tired of being set on fire. They're tired of damn being gunned down in the streets. And now California is implementing a felony law for stealing. They're starting to implement, slowly but surely, law and order back into California. And watch it spread like wildfire all over this country because people are sick of the bullshit. They're sick of the lunacy. They're sick of being scared on their own property in their own cars. They're sick of it. And I knew it was going to happen. I really thought that it might take till he got in office. But I did say, watch Trump win the election and then media turn back to right-wing media and start, you know, reporting in his favor, and all of these secrets come out. And that's what we have. It's what we have. I just hope that it continues into 25. I want to know all of these secrets. I want answers to all of the questions that we have. Did the drones in New York just disappear? Because I feel like I haven't heard anything about these drones. You know, now I feel like it was definitely our own military seeing how much they could get by with. How much will the public panic if we put new spacecraft in the air and don't tell them? Let's see. Because they just disappeared and nobody's reporting on the damn drones now. Definitely our own military. Here I am thinking we're about to damn go to war. China's spying on us. And ain't it crazy how they they told us that some Chinese man was caught taking pictures of an Air Force base at the same time. They set us up. The aliens disappeared. I guess they went back into the ocean like they said they came from. There was reports from pilots saying that they saw those things shoot up out of the water. Listen, I just know from the other spacecraft that we've had, that we have pictures of, we know that those drones and those spacecrafts, the actual UFOs, we know that their technology is 10 times more advanced than ours. So those drones, I never really felt like those were aliens. But at the same time, we were getting 3 different reports from 3 different sources. There were drones, there were UFOs, and there were orbs. First of all, I don't even know if I believe in orbs until I saw them damn videos. And I'm like, wait a second, that's definitely not a craft. That's definitely not a shooting star. You know, it's one of those things where like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, I kind of believe in this orb thing a little more. These videos are wild. They were all coming out at the same time throughout the entire country. So I don't know if everybody knows that, but it's true. The same time that the drones were flying over New Jersey into Virginia and Tennessee and all over the place, there was tons of UFO sightings at the same time. And these orbs, these crazy looking orbs, I really think that those drones were probably our own military. The fact that they came and went and it was all over the news, I wonder what they were actually up to, because it's one of those things where it's like, look over here while we're over here doing this. I really think that they were probably testing some new technology and was just trying to see what they could get by with. It doesn't make sense why they just, like, left. They just left. They're not still flying there, are they? "21 more days. 21. I don't know about that. I've heard that theory too. I heard they were sniffing for a bomb. I heard they were looking for this, looking for that. Damn, well, it took them long enough. I mean, you think you got that big-ass piece of nice equipment up there, you'd be able to find something sooner. I hope they don't use those to look for missing people, because, God, they'll never find them. Lord, they was up there for damn half a month. Over half a month. Making everybody stressed over nothing. It's probably our own damn military. Yeah, I don't know what they were or where they went, but I hope that they stay gone, because it's nice to not hear about them, honestly. I'm like, listen, if they were going to kill us, they would have done kill us. My biggest concern is that it's China or Russia or North Korea. I mean, hell, Iran, we got so many damn enemies, there ain't no telling who it is. There ain't no telling who it is, you know? We got too many frenemies. And that's another thing. When Trump was in office, we had frenemies. That's what we're supposed to have. But when Biden come into office, he was our frenemy. You know what I mean? He was behind our backs doing shady business deals with China and everybody else, profiting off of it. We know this from court documents, copies of checks, the fact that Hunter Biden admitted to it. I mean, they were just bringing in all kinds of money. But it's more like Joe Biden was our frenemy when he was supposed to be on our team. Frenemies against China and all of these other countries. Does that make any sense? He was loyal to them over his own people. I mean, it's just sickening to think what he done. My phone won't charge. Here we go. This damn cord. Yeah, he didn't care about the American people at all. It's very clear. Or Kamala Harris. She's so damn drunk, she don't even know what planet, president she's on. She's so drunk, she don't know what plane, president, or planet she's on. That's exactly right. You know what I mean? Hills up, Kamala. You know, believe it or not, we've always had, like, perverted people in office. But there was a time where they kind of steered away from anybody that was trying to fuck their way to the top. That's, like, the new thing with the Democratic Party is, like AOC and people like that. Like, you know they fucked their way to the top. Kamala's already admitted it. You know? And we need to steer away from that, because that's demonic. That's evil. That's how people get in positions of power that shouldn't be there. But, you know, the left are lunatics, so they like to have orgies and seances and shit. So, you know, it's no surprise that they promote people that are promiscuous, because that's who they are, you know. But there was a time in politics where we steered away from promiscuous people, and we geared towards, especially the Republican side. And matter of fact, it used to be the fucking opposite. The Democrats used to be the damn traditional people in this situation. It's crazy. It's just crazy that they've went off the damn left end like that. But they have. But we need to gear towards more traditional families. We need to focus on the family unit in this country and stop promoting people that are blatant prostitutes. Blatant. Yeah, she might have not have made a bag when she fucked him. But 2 years later, her ass is sitting in a position of power that she doesn't belong in, Fannie Willis. It's just crazy that you can go to school to become a district attorney, fuck somebody in the damn district attorney's office, and then be the head prosecutor years later. But that's the system that we have, folks. I can assure you. Go listen to Fannie Willis speak, and there's only one way she got in that fucking position. She's disgusting. So is AOC. But, you know, they fuck their way to the top. They're common prostitutes. That's it. They can't even complete sentences under oath. They get on the stand and start sounding like a fucking rap video. I mean, it's disgusting. They're both disgusting. And they fuck their way to the top. Just like Monica Lewinsky. You know, people that we really should showcase, they damn kick to the curbside. Like Tulsi. She's one of the most important women of this century, without a doubt. An American hero. So intelligent. You know, those are the type of people that young girls should look up to. Real women. Real women. And that's another thing I've noticed. It seems like, I don't know, since Trump won his presidency, a lot of the lefties are just, I don't know if they're hiding or where they went, but it could be that I'm in Florida, so, you know, we got a lot of Republicans down here. It seems like that things have chilled out. Like, it seems like the lefties aren't losing their mind as bad. I mean, they are online, and that's always fun to watch, but, like, I'm saying in the general public, it seems like I haven't seen as many pride flags. Even when I was up north, the freak wasn't on display. There we go. Because that's what we don't need. We don't need to know that you're weird. We can already tell from afar without the flag, without the blue hair, without the 50 nose piercings. We already knew. We just don't need that shit displayed in your fucking front yard like a damn fruitcake with damn lights on it. Like, it's crazy. It seems like, though, when I was up there and recently, I've just noticed that there's, like, things just seem more mellow in society. But once again, it could be because I'm mainly in Florida and there's a bunch of Republicans. Either way, I'm grateful. Because some of the shit, did y'all see the 2 gay men that adopted 2 boys and they were sexually assaulting these young boys? They got, I think, like 100 years in prison each. So these 2 gay men adopted 2 little boys, and they were abusing the hell out of these little boys. And that's the foster care system, folks. I'm just glad that it was busted. Like, I'm glad that they got caught, because there's so many people that don't get caught doing that shit, especially in the foster care system, because here's the thing about that. Once CPS, DSS hand these kids over, they don't want to have to go take them back. It's going to look bad on them because they are the ones that approved the fucking family to clear the kid. They cleared the family to have the children. So they don't want to go snatch them kids back. It's going to look bad on everybody in the office because they cleared the family to start with. It's really sad. You know, a lot of these kids that are adopted out, they're adopted out and they're completely forgot about. And that's why we have over 330,000, that's a true number, go give it a go, missing children in the United States. A lot of those children were separated from their families at the border. Those are the true victims in all of this. That's the only people I feel bad for, is these unaccompanied children that have gotten probably trafficked, from what we know, through the United States. Because it's not their fault that their parents are fucking idiots. It's not their fault that this administration put their parents in this position and gave them an incentive to run over that fucking border without them. Watching a 2-year-old girl come through the fucking border with nothing but a sticky note. I will never forget that. No name, just a phone number. And this 2-year-old child is standing there with a sticky note and a border patrol agent. And he's like, what is your name? And she won't speak. And he's like, where are your parents? And she won't speak. And then finally she pulls this little sticky note out of her pocket and hands it to him. And it's a phone number. No name. No nothing. Those are the true victims of the Biden administration and of their own families. But nobody says, hey, that's abuse. Just like the parents over here on YouTube and Instagram feeding their kids handfuls of fucking marshmallows instead of fruits and vegetables and meats. You know, that's not considered abuse yet. I can't wait till we get there. I can't wait until we start coming, everybody comes together and it's like, wait a second, that's abuse. These things are past due when it comes to the internet, specifically parents that pimp their kids out on the internet. They absolutely do. When you're forcing your child to make dancing videos every fucking day, that's no childhood. That is child abuse. Absolutely is. And you know, I can't wait till we get to the point to where people are calling things for what they are, because people used to do that left and right in society, but common sense is not that common. And so people are just complicit in evil. They watch the fucking videos in support of the channel, even though clearly McDonald's 3 times a fucking day is not healthy for a child. But there's parents that do it, baby. Let me tell you. There's parents that do it. And they film themselves doing it, which is the crazy part. And then these kids are fucking got diabetes and damn heart disease by damn 15. And the parents are like, well, he has a rare condition. No, Karen. You fed him fucking McDonald's from 4 to 14 3 times a fucking day. He's got high cholesterol and fucking diabetes from all the soda and processed foods. That's why children are out here with fatty liver disease at fucking 8 years old. Soda. But that's not abuse, right? That's not abuse. Neither is allowing your prepubescent teen to do exotic splits all over the fucking internet with millions of fucking views, knowing good and well that all of those views are perverted old men. You can go and look at the diagnostics of your channel. You can go and analyze who is viewing your channel. I would love to see those analytics. Would love to see those fucking analytics. Like, I would pay to see analytics from children's channels where the mother is provocatively dancing with their child. It's disgusting. And it is above child abuse. That is, in my opinion, sex abuse. Because you are extorting your child. You are, what is that called? You are, you're explicitly posting your child. We need laws on the fucking books, honey. Because it is not right for these parents to be pimping their children out like that. And I don't care if it's food content. I don't care if it's dancing videos. I don't care what it is. It's a whole different story when we see a 15, 16-year-old boy or girl who makes their own content and it is positive, lighthearted, comical content. That's completely separate than what I'm talking about. There are tons of young creators that make acceptable content on the internet and they do it themselves. What I am talking about is 5, 6-year-olds, 4-year-olds. I've seen children as young as 2. It's disgusting. I mean, y'all. What I'm talking about is these young parents that have these children with the intent of turning them into social media creators, and they make these children wear certain outfits, dance around provocatively. There's one fucking channel of nothing but a child eating a banana over and over and over and over, and it's disgusting. And these channels get millions of views, and I would pay to see the analytics behind these channels. These children cannot consent to these types of business deals. These children cannot consent to making these videos, in my opinion. It's blatant abuse that we're watching unfold in front of our eyes, just like children having cell phones. It's blatant abuse, you know. These parents give these phones to these children, and then these children, stuff happens to them. They meet predators on the internet. The parents are mad at the predator. You need to be mad at yourself. You're the one that provided the outlet. You gave them the car to go crash. And you want to get mad at perverts on the internet. Perverts have always been out here. They're going to stay out here. Matter of fact, they amplify. They fucking quadruple. They're like roaches. It's just getting worse. But let's give the child the phone, right? Let's give the child the phone. Or, I got one better. This just happened. We just covered this case. It's heartbreaking. Or you give them the phone and then you're mad that they fell in love with an AI an AI GPT chat robot, and the robot convinced the child to kill himself, and he did. I don't know. Maybe it's because I grew up in a strict home. I just know I'm a fucking hawk, bruh. You can have a phone when you get a job. You got a TV. You can stream shit. Better than I had when I was growing up. Go in there and start streaming shit. You got an Xbox. You can play games. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cut from a different cloth. But that might be why I don't have kids, you know? Because that phone shit would never fly. If you play football, you play cheerleading, you do a sport, you can have a phone. You know, you need one at that point. But when we're talking about early childhood development, we know that it's not good for them. We know that it's not good for 4-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds. We know that it is not good for them. They get it to the age where they can work, which is 15 in most states. That's phone time. That's and with rules, you get it, you know, you get it when you're not at the house. You can have it a few hours a day outside of that, and when you go to bed, the phone comes with me. Yeah. You don't need that to sleep. And matter of fact, there was a clinical psychologist that told one of my friends this. They said your kids are suffering because they go to bed with a phone. You need to take their phones at night. They can get it back in the morning. But you know, there was a psychologist that told a friend of mine, you've got to take that fucking phone, you know, and they did. And then their children's behavior improved. Interesting. Who would have thunk it? Common sense. Who would have thunk it? The phones are not good for them. It's crazy that this person needed a whole psychologist to hear this, but whatever, to each their own, because that was my first response. They're on their phones too much. But nobody wants to listen to me. Nobody wants to listen to me. Yep, I've seen that. I've seen whole tables at restaurants, Laura, of children just like this. As the parents are eating, no one's interacting. I notice this all the time with adults and children. Go out and people watch. Go to a restaurant. And the nicer the restaurant, in my opinion, the more likely this shit is to happen. But listen, I know I've noticed this in adults and children. And the same thing goes for go stand on a damn busy ass school bus. All them children are bent back in the seat on their phones. They ain't damn communicating. They ain't horsing around like we used to. They ain't damn laughing and hee-hawing and damn. Y'all, the bus used to be so much fucking fun. On the back of the bus, oh my God, we used to cut up, you know? Like, it's just not like that anymore. Kids are not kids. And they're having to grow up too fast. And part of that is the social media. You know, sure, we see kids that can spit out a few sentences and seem rational and mature earlier on, but the reason is because of all of the content they're taking in. And it's not a good thing, though, because when it comes to people skills, they fucking have none. Look at the upcoming generation now. Look at how you go in to pay your cell phone bill, and the bitch don't even say, hey, what you here for? Well, I wanted to pay my bill. All right. You know, like, people don't even know how to be social anymore when you're doing simple things out in public. That shit's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. Mark my words. There's going to come a time where people just don't socialize at all. We're already halfway there. COVID, I think, made people a lot more comfortable with not being social. A lot of businesses that used to be open that would make people social are no longer social. There's nothing fun to do anymore. You know, that shit ended with COVID, so people are not going out and being active in their communities like they used to either. It's crazy. There's going to come a time where we result back to caveman grunting. You go in, you order you get your groceries, you're checking out, and the customer service rep is just grunting at you. Huh, cash or card? You know, and you're like, cash. You don't even fucking respond. You just hand her cash. Like, we're already halfway there. People are just antisocial as fuck. I mean, and I do it intentionally because people are fucking crazy out here. Seriously. And children are suffering big time. The education system sucks. And I'm going through it with college right now. Yeah, you don't see kids at parks. There's no, I mean, even like the skating rinks, the movie theaters, they're not open like they used to be open. And when they are open, it's only for a short period of time. And, you know, even schools, they just don't do things like they used to. Remember how when we were growing up, there was something going on almost at least once a month. You know, we had field days, and we had bonfires, and we had damn pep rallies, and, I mean, school dances, and freaking, you know, they don't do a lot of shit like that anymore. Part of it is funding. They don't have the money to do it. They can barely pay their damn teachers and get supplies. Like, the education system is literally just trash. COVID messed up everything, but it's not just COVID. It's COVID and this administration. If we would have had Trump in office after COVID, this country would not look like this. Look at all the work he's done in less than 2 months of being elected. He's made more plans than the Biden administration did in 4 years. The only thing they've done is free criminals. Actual criminals, actual child killers, actual child abusers. They freed them, commuted their sentence. How nice. And actually, they all should be executed. Most of them were on death row. So, you know, Trump has said that he's going to put them back on death row and execute them. So good for that. That's what we need to do. We've got to start giving harsher punishment for actual criminals. It's sad because someone like me can be accused of something they didn't even fucking do, and I get locked up. But we have actual child abusers getting their sentence commuted. It's a crazy world we live in. Crazy world. Absolutely crazy world. And I think it'll get worse before it gets better. And I don't know if it'll ever get better, y'all. I really don't. I was doing a lot of... I was supposed to do a DSS case like 2 months ago, and I just have not been able to pull myself to do it. And I was doing some research for that last night, and I realized that this shit goes back like 15 years. As long as YouTube has been open, there have been parents that have had their parental rights stolen, their children kidnapped, falsely charged of crimes like I was. This shit's been going on for forever, and I don't think it'll get better. There's no hope for systems like DSS. You know. It's really disheartening, but all I can do is continue the good fight because people need to know their rights. People need to know that they're not alone. These things are not talked about enough. And, you know, honestly, I think if we had a solid report of how many children have been stolen in the past 10 years, it would blow the general public's fucking mind open. Like, people would be vomiting in the streets from the power and control that DSS has implemented illegally over parents that did nothing wrong. But we'll never have that report because it's a government agency, so they're all about funding. Yeah, and you know, the crazy thing about that is Obama, that's really when we see these children being stolen for funding. The more children that they take out of loving homes and place into foster care, the more federal funding these agencies receive. So it's actually incentive to take these children. And we see this really start under the Obama administration, which is crazy because ain't he a black man for black people? But did you know, disproportionately, black children are taken more than any other race by DSS? Fun fact. But I thought he was for black people and black rights and Black Lives Matter. People have been so bamboozled with this race card. It's sickening. It really is. Obama used it. Biden used it. The Clintons use it. They're the swamp. That's the deep state. You want to know who's running this country? The Obamas and the Clintons. That's the swamp. But yeah, we seen the Harris administration try to use the race card until it was proved that she had an Irish grandmother. Some shit went down. That shit was great. Yeah. She was not who she thought she was. It's crazy to me how she, like, printed that picture of her grandmother who was in the book, but it was really the housekeeper. If you don't know what happened, you can go find it on Candace Owens' channel. So crazy. I mean, I guess she does have Jamaican in her, but, like, y'all know how she was trying to... And we don't know if she has Jamaican. That's the question. That, we don't know. We don't know what she is. But she sure as hell tried to play that damn race card like they was just going to vote her ass in office. I'm just so glad that people came together and voted for Trump, because I don't think that we would have made it through another 4 years. The way that they were doing things, the way that they were, you know, spending billions of dollars on illegal immigration, they were fucking planning something. That wasn't just about votes. Yeah, that you know, once those people are given citizenship, they'll be able to vote. And I initially thought that they were letting these people into the country and paying them all of these money, paying for their housing, their food. They paid for everything. And in certain states, they were even giving them thousands of dollars in freaking EBT cash, which turns into cash. You can withdraw it just like money. And some of these receipts had $13,000 to $26,000 on them. And so I initially thought that they were doing this for the long term. They wanted to, like, secure long-term voters. Once these people were approved to use, you know, to be a citizen, they could vote. So I thought that they were doing it to kind of draw their following. But I don't think that now. I think that they were planning something bigger, because you don't spend $500 billion in just a few short years on just trying to secure a long-time vote. There's something more to it. I don't know. We might not ever know what they were planning, but they were absolutely planning something to overthrow this country. Absolutely. Like, you can't convince me otherwise. Look at everything they've done in the past 4 years. I mean, they've literally almost ended the United States. They almost got us into fucking World War III. 2 wars, almost World War III. They're making millions of fucking dollars, lying to the general public, making shady ass business deals with fucking China right under our fucking nose. Sons are smoking crack, cocaine in the White House. Like, listen, look at California. That should tell you right there what they were doing. So crazy. It's sickening, actually, and I don't know what they were planning, but they were planning something. I mean, hell, in my opinion, they released COVID intentionally to make money. That's just my opinion, and I'm allowed to have that. And I know how crazy I sound, but I'm not a conspiracy theorist, because it just so happens that there's a report that proves that COVID came from fucking Wuhan, out of an American fucking lab. So nice try. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. We have evidence. What I can't prove is if they released it intentionally to make money. But we already know who we're dealing with. Look at their characteristics. Look at what they've done for the past 4 years. Look at who they are deep down. The evil, the vile intent, the self-serving behavior. And look how hard they fought to lock the country down. They wanted us in our houses, depressed, needing more mental health drugs, because they make money off of that. Fun fact. Big farm, you know, so they wanted us to get dumber. They wanted our children not to go to school. They wanted everything to stall, and they fought to do that, and they did it. And they made millions, billions. They made billions. Oh my God, y'all. Y'all. This boy is here to meet this girl for a first date. He just said, "How are you doing? Look at these motherfucking leggings." Y'all. Do y'all see this? I'm telling you right now, if I show up to meet a motherfucking dude and he has his ass out like that, y'all, let's go somewhere. Lord, where's my keys? I was going to go shower, but I'm going to wait because I got to do some work before I do that. I got to make some phone calls. Y'all, his motherfucking leggings are so tight. I can see his balls from behind. Oh my God, he's got on fucking makeup, fingernail polish. What in the fuck is going on in the world? Y'all. I was just talking about how I ain't seen no weird shit, and then this motherfucker shows up. I don't know what they're doing, but I need to get out. People are so... I feel so bad for the upcoming generation. I really do. They're going to be really fucking confused by 30. Crying and drinking every fucking day. So weird. I'm sorry. If I go on a date with somebody, I'm going on a date with a man. Not a fucking blonde head man in fucking leggings with nail polish and makeup on. Like, what? That's not a man. That's a sorely confused person. Like, you know, the crazy part is they learn that behavior from social media. People like Jeffree Star, other men like that do the whole makeup thing. That behavior comes from social media, because that's not been a behavior that we've ever seen in any other fucking generation. Sure, we had cross-dressers back in the day, but they kept that shit in the closet. They didn't have to parade around fucking children in public places. There's children all back there that can see that man's nuts in his leggings. Yes, I have a problem with it. It's inappropriate. Highly inappropriate. I don't care if you have on a damn dress. As long as I don't see your nuts, we're good. The problem is I can see your nuts. You sashaying them things around like they're fucking Christmas bells on a fucking reef. No. No. So weird. I bet he has hard days. I mean, they kind of do it to themselves. It's so shocking. You're doing that to yourself. Nobody wants to see your nuts, sir. Put them things back in their damn holsters. I ain't got a bra on right now, and you see I got a jacket on. It's called self-respect. Go find you some. Jesus. Have to go somewhere else to get away from the crazy. That was the most disgusting thing that I've ever had to see. Seriously. I wish y'all could have saw what I saw. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but his nuts were hanging out like... Here I am bragging about no crazies down here, and here comes a crazy. So weird. Please keep your nuts to yourself. Please. Some gay guy or some girl, I don't know what he wants to be called. His nuts were out. He had on these tight-ass leggings with his balls hanging out the back. Hair and fucking makeup and nail polish and everything else. I just feel so bad for this upcoming generation because they've been bamboozled. His masculinity was just gone. And maybe he doesn't care, but he will when he's 35. He will when he's 35. And his brain's fully developed. He will. He'll be saying, what did they do to me? Where's my beard? Where's my balls? Shit's wild. So weird. I'm glad I don't have to worry about that. My kids are in places that will raise them better than that. Bring back men being men and women being women, please. Can we? I thought we were doing that. I was already on board. Was I the only one on board with that? I mean, I will say when I see people like that, my first immediate thought is mental health problems and then also trauma. Something that I've noticed is a lot of gay men were sexually abused as little boys, and it's really sad, but that's why we have talk therapy. This is why we have mental health professionals. They actually can help with those type of things, and it's seen great success. So, you know, high percentage rate of healing and regaining your masculine features back. Like, it's sad, but you know, once again, when these boys are assaulted and they go to a professional, you know, these professionals are geared by money, so they want to put these kids in gender reaffirming surgery and gender reaffirming care instead of giving them the proper treatment and tools to heal themselves and come back from the trauma. These medical professionals are geared towards gender affirming care, which is bringing in the money. It's over a $2 billion industry. They're expecting that to grow by 2030, I think 13%. We've talked about this before. The exact numbers are somewhere on this channel. We went over all the data. And so talk therapy is $120 an hour for a therapist, okay? Gender affirming care, hormones, estrogen, all of these things, testosterone, body changing surgeries, that stuff is where the big bucks come in. So when these little boys are getting molested and they're having these gay tendencies in early childhood, a talk specialist, a therapist, a psychologist is actually supposed to come in and evaluate the child and gear that child towards his manly features, okay? But they're not doing that. What they're doing is they're saying, oh, you're gay. Let's give you some hormones. You want to be a little girl, don't you? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And it's sad. And they're using these kids' trauma for profit. They're exploiting these children through money. And it's just like rehab services. They do the same shit. They do the same shit in rehabs. Instead of teaching these people how to stay clean, teaching them the importance of people, places, and things, teaching them the importance of how trauma affects the brain and triggers addiction, and instead of teaching them and giving them a long-term treatment plan for themselves to stay sober, instead of all of that, they give them bullshit group therapy for weeks, 4 weeks, and then they send them fucking home hoping that they stand up on their feet for 6 months, only to relapse and come back to the rehab, because that is how rehabs make money. They need people continuously coming through the door. When the more expensive the rehab, the more bullshit. We're talking about rehabs that are 30, 40, 20 grand. They make money on people's failures. They make money on people coming back through the door. So what they don't do is actually come up with treatment plans and they don't give these people the tools that they need to stay clean. You know, it's not rocket science. The amount of people that I meet, that I talk to, that recovery about people, places, and things, and I emphasize this with them not recognizing how important these 3 things are. That is your whole recovery. We need to focus on that. We need to focus on that, hone in on that. That's how you stay clean. People, places, and things. Rehab is not going to get you clean. They'll stand you up on your feet for months, but they're not going to give you the tools that you need to stay in it, because they're counting on your failure. They're counting on you relapsing, having a bad day, being triggered, not even what a trigger is, because they don't tell you that either. Yeah, that's a whole big thing. That should be the 4th one. People, places, things, and triggers. Those are the 4 steps of recovery. But they're counting on these people standing on their feet for a few weeks and then relapsing and then coming back through the door, filing insurance, and making more money. Our medical professionals are in over their heads. We have doctors and nurses quitting all over this country. Hell, I didn't even know there was an IV shortage, but apparently there is. I gotta come out of this. Hey. Damn it, that's the empty one. You kept going to rehab? How many times did you go? I went just a few times. I've been probably half a dozen times, and it never worked. I didn't feel like I could connect with the people at the rehab. They didn't know how to do their job. They didn't care about the patients. They were disrespectful. I went to a state-operated facility, and then it was finally almost 5 years ago, I decided to do it on my own. I just felt like I knew more than what I just felt like I knew more than what these people who went to college for 12 years knew. Yeah, the psychologist and all. I felt like they were gearing me towards failure. They always wanted to put me on medicines like methadone, Suboxone, Subutex, all of these things that now that I'm off of these things, I recognize that it's just another form of heroin. It's a way for city and state to make money, and they do. They make millions off of these substances that are heroin. Methadone can kill you. Sure can. So, and there's hundreds of thousands of people every year, that die from methadone. Methadone is one of the most dangerous drugs because what we see typically is people using it intravenously. They'll take their methadone and then they're still intravenously using heroin. The thing about methadone is that you can mix all of these substances and still get high. The great thing about Suboxone is that's not an option. Suboxone has a ceiling effect. So to anyone that has an opioid dependency issue, Suboxone is just going to make them not feel sick. So I do think that Suboxone is a much better option, but it is not necessity. And I actually think that people should do it without those medications. Yeah, I always advise people to do it without the medication because that's a recipe for disaster. It worked for me. I was on it for 4 years. It worked for me. I wanted to come off of it the second year. I was advised not to do that. And then I went from doctor to doctor. And for a long time, I bought it off the streets because I was on it and you have to have it every day. And finally, I got a new doctor. And one thing that changed my mind about this medicine was her reaction when I asked about the Suboxone shot. So at this point in my recovery, I'd been clean for 4 years. I got a new doctor because I had received Medicaid for the first time in my damn life. And I went into her office and I said, I'm interested in the shot. And she says, sorry, I got people in my mouth. She says, oh, we're not there yet. We're not ready for that. And I went home and I sat on that and I'm like, well, if I'm not ready at 4 years in my recovery for the Suboxone shot so that I don't have to come to the doctor but once a month instead of, 2-3 times a month, then when will I be ready for the Suboxone shot? We're talking about 4 years into a recovery. Suboxone is a temporary thing. You're supposed to use that for like a year and then be off of it. So the fact that I'd been on it for 4 years and I'm asking about a shot that would simplify my life and I'm in a wonderful place in my recovery, if anybody should have qualified for the shot, it should have been me. And that's when I realized they wanted to keep me on this medicine for as long as possible. Now, I've talked to other people that have been on Suboxone since the early 2000s when it was first released. Almost 20 years. 2004, I think I had one person tell me. I think I had another person tell me 2006, and then another person said 2009, something like that. And it might have been 07 and 09 and 06. I can't remember. But still, that's a long damn time to be on a medication. Imagine that money they would have spent on heroin going to a medication. That's all that we have here. That's all that we have here. The government come up with a way to make money off of drug addicts. That's it. That's what they're doing. These places are federally funded too. So the more patients they get, the more money they get from the government. Just like the foster care system. This is why these agencies are bad. They're counting on people's failures. They're wanting people to fail and they're incentivizing your failures. And when they can't prove that you fail, they'll just make up fucking reasons in court to do whatever they want. They'll just lie in court documents. I hope you saw the shorts that I posted last night. All of the shorts, I think I posted 2 or 3 last night. Every single short that was posted, I absolutely went through what the woman went through in the post. The same exact thing. The only thing is I didn't have money to sue. So these things happen every day and they're not talked about and they're swept under the rug and they're incentivized through our government to make money. And it's sad. Because Suboxone, I could have went without Suboxone like the first year after I got clean. But I was so tied to the medication because your doctor is in your ear telling you, oh, you're going to be sick for a few weeks. You'll have to take off work. You'll have to do this. You're going to be sick. And so they keep prescribing you the medication because they want you on it because they're getting funding. They're getting money. Any and every way that they can. They don't care how they get it, whether it's through Medicaid or whether it's through government grants to pay for that methadone because you couldn't. They don't care. They just want you on the drugs. And I want people to know that there's extreme risk that come with these rehabs. I'm not trying to deter people from going to rehab, but what I am saying is you have to remember that you are just a number. And at the end of the day, it is all about money. This is America. Zoloft, I've heard really bad things about. I hear it can help some people, but those mental health drugs are very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. A lot of them are physically addictive, and if you come off of them, what they don't tell you is that you're going to be sick. And they do this intentionally. I feel like it ought to be a felony to prescribe somebody something and not tell them that there is a physical withdrawal coming off the drug. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that is an ethics violation at the very least. You should not be in medicine. If you can't warn a patient about the side effects, the long-term effects, and what the medication is going to be like coming off, you have an ethics problem. You got a moral problem, and we need you completely out of the medical field because you are putting patients in danger. Do you know, coming off of Seroquel, that you can have extreme migraines? I was on Seroquel to sleep. First of all, this medication is never to be prescribed for sleep. Fun fact, I learned the hard way. So it was prescribed for sleep, which a doctor is never supposed to do. Somehow Chapel Hill just does whatever they want. UNC Chapel Hill, one of the best hospitals in the country, right? No, they're big farm. They never told me about the side effects. They never told me about how hard it would be to get a prescription for this medication. And they sure as hell did not tell me that if I came off of the medication, that I would be sick for up to 2 weeks. And this happened. This happened. So I feel like it should be, you should have your license yanked for not telling people about certain medications if you were prescribing them. If you have a license to prescribe these types of controlled substances and these types of mental health drugs, and you do not disclose to a patient the long-term effects, the side effects, and what it'll be like coming off the medication, you should have your license revoked. Absolutely. You don't deserve to be in medicine. You've forgotten your position. You're literally a doctor. That's literally what you're supposed to do. And all you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to force that medicine down a patient's throat so you can get kickbacks. But they do. Yep, Veronica, that's exactly right. And that's why. Talk about medical malpractice. I mean, you know, here's another prime example of me going through medical malpractice where I could have sued the shit out of somebody, but I just don't have the money. What they did to me at that hospital was beyond illegal, unethical. Nobody in that hospital operates on morals, operate with the intention of money. And just like rehabs and just like medical professionals who are pushing these transgender surgeries and stuff, they're preying on people's downfall. And these mental hospitals are the same way. They don't even diagnose or use the DSM anymore. For those that don't know what the DSM is, the DSM-5 is a medical book that has all of these different mental health conditions in it. It's the book that we've used for decades. Every year it's updated with new medical information to help psychologists and doctors be able to diagnose mental health conditions in patients. This book is imperative to the medical field. This book is composed of hundreds, if not thousands, of different doctors that committed themselves to science. It's took years to develop the information that we have on bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, depression, manic depressive episode, depression, all of these different conditions that we have information on. Doctors spent their whole careers analyzing and coming up with this data, and all of this information is in the DSM, what is supposed to be 5. A lot of hospitals are not even using this book anymore. This is part of the medical field that has been completely cut out of society. It's part of the common sense, part of the rational part of science that we had that has been completely kicked out of the medical field. Part of the reason that they're doing this is money. Money. They don't want to diagnose people with bipolar disorder. They don't want to diagnose people with these mental health conditions. At UNC Chapel Hill in particular, not only do they not use a DSM-5, but they don't even have a clinical psychologist on board to diagnose patients. What they do at UNC Chapel Hill is they actually just shove different pills down a patient's throat. And I know this sounds crazy, but there's plenty of witnesses to this. Anybody that's been there that wants to come forward and talk about this, I'll share your story. what they do is they shove any and every mental health drug down a patient's throat. They cross their fingers. They hope it works. If it does work, then they say, oh, she had bipolar disorder, probably, but we're not going to diagnose it. We're just going to leave her on these meds and send her home and hope that it works. And then 2 weeks later, the patient is back through the door and they try a new cocktail of drugs on this patient. They're like, oh, well, maybe she's not bipolar. Maybe she just has premenstrual dysphoric disorder. So let's throw her on an antidepressant, an SSRI, and something for anxiety, and we'll send her back out the door. They do this so that it is a reoccurring patient coming through the door at all times to get money. They don't want to diagnose because diagnosing would fix the problem. A psychological assessment would fix the problem. There's no motive to do that when Big Pharma is front and center for medical, staff, these hospitals, doctors. All they care about is making money, making kickbacks, and getting in. So this is a huge problem that I witnessed myself personally. And before I knew what was happening, I missed a whole week of time because they had put me on Xanax as a recovering addict. For those that don't know, Xanax is probably one of the detrimentalist things that you could give to someone who is in heroin recovery. That Xanax that they prescribed me, it could have been the end-all, be-all. I could have died from that. And I know that it sounds drastic to say that, but anyone that's ever recovered from opiates, you understand what I'm saying. Anyone that's ever took a Xanax and not been able to remember and woke up with a bunch of shit in their car that they stole, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's one of those things that you have to live it to recognize the magnitude of what this hospital did to me. And they put me not only in a vulnerable and dangerous position, but they could have killed me or caused me to kill someone else. And that's the scariest part. At some point, I had a seizure off of the Xanax. They took me into some tube to do like an MRI or some kind of scan. I don't know what it was, to see if I had any damage from the seizure that I had from the medications. When we're talking about medical malpractice, I just want to be clear that I already have like 3 suits in just what I've told you. And there's so much that I witnessed, so much that I went through in that stay. And I did that voluntarily, which is even scarier. You can die from Xanax withdrawal. You absolutely can. You can die from 3 substances, alcohol, Xanax, and heroin, opiates. Typically when we see people die from opiates, it's going to be due to malnutrition and dehydration. Alcohol DTs are one of the worst things to come off of, right next to heroin and Xanax. But Xanax can kill you in multiple ways, just like opiates. It's a suppressant. So when you start mixing these things together, essentially it'll stop your breathing and you just die. And that's the scariest part. All of them are suppressants. All of them are suppressants. Alcohol, Xanax, and heroin are all suppressants. And so when you're mixing these things together, for every new substance that is a suppressant, you're almost doubling, if not tripling, your chances of death by mixing those things. The hospital was holding people against their will and just shoving drugs down these poor children's throats when I was there. It was the most disturbing hospital stay I've ever had in my entire life, and I will never forget that experience. And maybe I felt like I needed help, but once I got there, I realized that I wasn't the crazy one. All of these doctors that were putting a recovering addict on Xanax were the crazy ones, putting everybody in society's life at risk by putting me on a medication that makes me black out. These doctors were the dangerous ones. I had to get the hell out of there, and I left, and I never looked back. And my mental health problems have gotten better since I realized that we don't have psychologists. They don't use the DSM, and Big Pharma has taken over this country. And this is why you see 20-year-olds walking around with their fucking hair falling out, looking depressed as hell and overweight. It's the meds and the food, but the meds. I dated somebody whose child was a guinea pig. Every other week, they were changing her fucking meds up. And this was a happy kid, a happy kid. She had a little bit of anxiety, social anxiety. What kid doesn't? Especially kids that are growing up on Instagram and cell phones. That doesn't help. It doesn't make them appreciate themselves when they're looking at supermodels with big-ass lips and big-ass tits. What do you think that does to a child? If they get insecure around their own peers in high school and middle school, imagine how insecure they get looking at that bullshit online. She was a guinea pig. Every week they had her on a different medication that she did not need. I just hope that there comes a point where, you know, maybe college is better for her and she dumps all of those drugs, because I'm here to tell you that I've watched so many children grow up in this big farm bullshit, this money racket, and they're not doing well. All of these kids that are on drugs out here are not doing well. Yeah, call them, Veronica. You don't believe me? We should call Chapel Hill, their mental psych ward, and say, hey, I was just wondering if you guys use the DSM. Do y'all have a psychologist on site? First of all, I don't know if they'd answer my questions. Second of all, we can do this. Third of all, they probably won't answer my questions. But I could lie and say that I'm some kind of reporter or something. It's not against the law to lie to the fucking hospital. They're not the cops. What are they gonna do? Charge me with impersonating a fucking journalist? Like, you know? Like, y'all, that's a great idea. We should call them. Thank you, Veronica. We should call them and ask them what their policy and procedure is for diagnosing patients. Y'all will be shocked. I'll do this. We will do this. I don't know how. I'll have to get Wi-Fi. Hold on. I want to make a note of this because I mean this. That is absolutely something we can do to investigate. Just to show y'all. I just want to give y'all insight. I want y'all to know what the world is coming to. So, UNC Chap Psych Ward call. All right, I got a mental note. Put it right here. That's something we'll do this week. I got a lot going on today with school and stuff, but I'm working my ass off to try to get in here. And I got to pay bills and some other stuff. We're going to catch up this afternoon too. But I'm telling you, you know, I knew. So I went into the hospital. I told them that I was suffering. I told them what I was going through. And it's just so that it turns out, it's a little thing called betrayal trauma. Talked about this. This is a huge thing. This is a life-changing event that sends you into anxiety, mania, and depression. It could be something like you come home and you catch your wife with another man. And that shatters your world. Now you're going to get a divorce. Now the kids are going to be separated. The house is going to be torn apart. You're going to have to move shit. Y'all are going to have to separate finances. Think about how life-shattering that is if you go through with divorce. That's a betrayal trauma. To find, say your husband sleeps with your mama. Girl, the level of betrayal could cause a person to go completely insane and maybe never even recover. Maybe never even come out of it. I'm literally getting chill bumps because it's exactly what I went through. I went through betrayal trauma. It caused me to spiral into a depression so bad that I was not even taking care of myself. I was not showering. I was not eating. I was just manic in my truck, crazy, okay? I went to the hospital. I told them what I was going through. They should have immediately known it was betrayal trauma. When I said that I was a sex trafficking victim, blah, 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 they should have knew immediately. And at the time, I didn't even know what this was. I didn't know what I was going through. I really thought I was fucking bipolar or maybe fucking schizophrenia or psychosis from all the drugs I did was finally catching up to me. I didn't know, okay? It was only months later that I found out what this was. But while I was in the hospital, they immediately surrounded me. I'll never forget this. They fucking surrounded me. They made me lay on a gurney. And at that point, this was not a voluntary thing. This was not voluntary at this point. They admitted me. What is that called? What is it when they... So I went in voluntary to talk to someone to try to figure out, you know, if I needed meds or something. And they surrounded me and involuntarily committed me. Okay, fine. That's kind of what I wanted. That's why I went there, was to come up with a plan, to get resources, connections with therapy. The therapist I had at the time is the same therapist I have now, Stephanie. We were going through a rough patch. Greg had quit. I'd been with Greg for years. I was panicking. I was like, I need my Greg. You know, like, I didn't like Stephanie because she's 60 years younger than Greg, and I like them old school psychologists that know what the fuck they're doing, like Jordan Peterson. We don't need no woke ass shit over here, okay? because we live in reality. So I'm in there, and it was my first day. I met 7 or 8 doctors. These doctors come in, they're specialists, they're doctors. They all crowd in a room, and then they call each patient in one by one to have a discussion about why they're there, what they need to do to get them help, what meds they need to change, stuff like this. So it's my first day there, and they immediately start giving me Xanax. And I didn't even know what it was at first. When I asked her what it was, she said Ativan. It's the same motherfucking thing. Klonopin, Xanax, whatever you want to call it. You take enough of them bitches, you ain't gonna remember shit tomorrow. Same damn drug, same damn class. It's benzos. So she says Ativan, it'll help your nerves. Well, I don't remember shit for 4 more days. I don't remember nothing. Not a word, not a conversation, not a group, not a bedtime, not a shower. I don't even know if I washed my ass for 4 days. Did I even eat? I don't know. They gave me so much damn Xanax that I had a seizure. I wake up in a fucking tube getting some kind of MRI. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And she's like, don't move. We're doing a scan. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck are these people? Are they removing my livers? Like, what is going on? I just want to be clear that this was UNC Chapel Hill. So then they take me back upstairs, and they're talking about I need to take meds. And I'm like, I don't want to take those meds. And y'all just told me I had a motherfucking seizure from meds. And they wouldn't specify whether it was from the meds. It was absolutely, I've never had a seizure in my life. They had me on 3 or 4 or 5 different medications. Some of which I recently found out they shouldn't even have been giving me, like the Seroquel. That is a mental health patient. Like, that is for bipolar disorder, for mood disabilities, mood disorders. You don't give Seroquel to someone who has not been diagnosed with bipolar or some kind of depressive disorder. You just don't do it. You don't do it. This is why we have a code of ethics in these type of facilities that apparently was completely thrown out the window when I entered the picture. But it wasn't just me, honey. Everybody in that hospital was being force-fed drugs that they did not need because they had not been diagnosed with mental health problems. If I'm bipolar, then tell me. Let's have that conversation. I need an assessment. That's what I came here for. Fun fact, I went there to get a mental health assessment. It never happened because they don't have psychologists. They don't have mental health professionals in a mental hospital. Listen to what I'm telling you. I remember I started refusing my medication. I started asking to go home. They refused to let me go home. They locked me in for an additional 3 days until they finally got it through their fucking heads that I was not going to take those meds. And then they're like, oh, we'll discharge you. Yeah, you better. You better be glad I don't have fucking money, or I'd sue the shit out of everybody in here. First of all, I was never diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Never have been. I went through betrayal trauma. Very similar side effects, you know, bouts of mania, highs and lows, very similar. It's a temporary thing. It lasts as long as you let it last. Thank God I'm good at getting back on my feet and pulling myself up by my bootstraps. But I remember sitting in a room with like 7 or 8 doctors, and it might have been more than that. I mean, they just pile in there, honey. And I said, I'm in recovery. I told you guys I was in recovery. Why did you give me Xanax? It's Ativan. It's the same motherfucking thing, bitch. Y'all were giving me so much of it, I was blacking out. I don't remember anything, and I want to go home. I need my assessment. At which point, she said, we don't do assessments here. I said, oh, really? That was the whole reason that y'all let me come into the hospital. I came here with paperwork from a different hospital to get an assessment, a psychological assessment. And she told me that they don't use the DSM. I said, y'all don't use the DSM? She's like, no, that's outdated. At UNC Chapel Hill, no psychologist, no assessment process. They just shove pills down patients' throats and hope that they make it. But here's the thing. I know that they don't want them to make it, because if they wanted them to make it, they would do what science has been doing for over 100 years. They would assess, they would diagnose, and they would write prescriptions that match that diagnosis. They don't want to help people. They want to keep people confused so they can keep making money. Keep that door just swinging open. It's the same thing with essentially the whole medical industry now, from dentistry to shit. I talked to somebody the other day that was getting cortisol shots in their back when all they needed to do is fucking do a clam stretch. I said, your doctor didn't tell you need to stretch? They said no. I said, you need to change your doctor. Your back hurts because you don't do shit. Your back hurts because you ain't moving your body. Your back hurts because you ain't stretched that fucking sciatic nerve in 20 years. But of course, you know, they probably make more money off of fucking cortisol shots than they do telling patients that they need to be active. The whole country is ran like this. Every damn outlet, DSS, the education system, hospitals, gender affirming care. Why give patients therapy when we could just cut their penises off and make $100,000? Therapy is only $120 an hour. Oh, and let's give them hormones too. There's another 40 grand we can make off of them in 20 years. You know, so I hope that the Trump administration is going to fix this crazy shit, because if he's not able to, this is the world that we live in now, and people are suffering more than ever. I know so many people that need a psychological assessment right now. This is a huge problem. Psychologists, we don't have psychologists coming through anymore. This is a huge problem with mental health services. Call to any local mental hospital, mental ward, drug rehab. They don't have psychologists. If we don't have psychologists, then we don't have a way to treat mental health. We need them to treat mental health. That's their job. That's why they go to school for almost 15 years. Those are the experts. Those are the people that wrote the DSM. Medical professionals that came long before this crazy generation of doctors that are sick in the head and money hungry. You know, it doesn't matter what kind of doctor you are. You make pretty damn good money. So to bend, well, shit, who's to say they even had morals and ethics to start with, Brooke? I started to say to bend your morals for money. But hell, let's be honest. A lot of doctors go into the profession because they know they're going to make money now. It's really sad. Yeah, I told them, I said, I don't do mental health drugs without an assessment and a diagnosis. So unless y'all are able to do that, then I'm wasting my time here. They discharged me the next day. Especially when I found writings talking about my seizure. I found writings that I had done when I was on the medication that I don't remember, and I was talking about having a seizure and how they handled the situation in these writings. And I had those writings, and I kept saying, I will sue the shit out of y'all. They finally let me out. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And I've already, you know, another red flag was I kept saying, y'all need to get my medical records from my therapist. Y'all need to get my medical records from here. Y'all need to get my medical records from there. And they didn't want to do that. That is a medical necessity. That's not debatable. That's what hospitals do. That's their job. You need those patients' records to be able to properly treat them. And I'm not even a fucking medical professional, and I know this. So it's sickening that this hospital is trash. I mean, I ought to file a formal complaint. I really should, but I don't think it'll help. I mean, they were literally force-feeding college students that had anxiety over finals. This girl couldn't even pick her head up off the table. Her mother had to go get an attorney to fight and get her ass out. And she had a little bit of anxiety over finals. 2 of them were in there. A gay guy and another girl. Both of them were having panic attacks, depressed over finals. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And they were just shoving them full of drugs to the point that these children couldn't even hold up their heads. And their family is trying to get in contact with them, and the hospital is denying the family access to their children. How they have not, and they have been sued. We've been over the lawsuits. They got sued many, many times. They're still getting sued. Yeah. Chapel Hill is a crock of shit. Hey, Mandy. That's exactly what's best for you, Lily. And that's what they're not pushing anymore. That's what they're not pushing anymore. Yeah, you know, Veronica, thank you for bringing that up, because that's exactly what they were trying to do. They were trying to get me physically addicted to mental health drugs. They had put me on Seroquel, lithium, I want to say Depakote. It was like, I really don't know, because they told me that the first 3 days I was there, they had me on something else, and then they took me off of that. And I'm just like, and y'all didn't think at any point this is why I had a fucking seizure? A person that has no history of seizures, y'all didn't think for a moment that this is why I almost died? They're fucking idiots. They're idiots. What they were trying to do was they were trying to put me on medication that I would become physically addicted to, so that I had to come back to them for more meds. And when those meds didn't work, and I fell down again, and I had to go crawling back to the hospital, they would have just put me on different meds. They'd been like, oh, you're not bipolar then. We tried all the bipolar meds. Those didn't work. So maybe now you got manic depressive disorder or something. Let's try all these other things, what, SRIs and shit. Like, that's exactly what they're trying to do. That's what they do. That's how they get patients. It's the same thing when they're doing the gender affirming care. You have to go back to the doctor every month to get those hormones and stuff. And, you know, a lot of these people that we're seeing going through this, they already have mental health disorders that they've been diagnosed with. And instead of honing in on their mental health issues and treating those with therapy, they just tell them they need to cut their penis off, because that's 70 to 100 grand. So what's going to make more? An hour of therapy every week, or cutting their penis off? Having a double mastectomy. You know, and the craziest people team up together. It don't matter which doctor's office. It don't matter which mental health specialist. It's almost like the medical industry is all in agreement, just like insurance companies. They're all in agreement that this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to act. This is the, you know, it's like they're all in agreement that they're all scam artists. It's sickening. It really is. I mean, honestly, unless they completely dismantle the Department of Education and, dismantle Health and Human Services and start from scratch, I don't see how things can get better, because the system that we have built would be almost impossible to fix. Too many people would revolt against it, and I just don't see how things can get better, but we'll see what happens. We don't retract messages over here, so if you're caught retracting messages, you'll be blocked. If you're asking stupid questions, you'll be blocked. The only thing to make you feel better is diet and exercise. Yeah, putting you on those mental health drugs without diagnosing a patient is not only dangerous, but it's unethical. And I don't know how more hospitals are not being sued for these practices. I want people to know their rights. I want people to know what is legally okay and what is not legally okay. What is legally okay is that they diagnose you through an assessment, through a clinical psychologist, and then they proceed with medication. If you have any doctor giving you medication without a clinical diagnosis, you need to leave that facility. Your life is in danger, and everyone around you is in danger, because the meds that you are on are not, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Without a psychological assessment, without a clinical psychologist doing that, and without proper diagnosis, you are in danger and your family is in danger. You are dealing with someone who is unethical, that has no morals, and they are out for money. And that is the truth. And there's no way around that. That is what it is, and that's what it's going to stay, because that's the truth. That's the reality. If you think I'm lying, then go ask Jordan Peterson and see what he says. Because I'm like 99.9% sure that he would tell you the same exact fucking thing. It's just crazy what we've allowed to take place in this country. This is why mental health problems are so bad. This is why drugs are so bad. And this is why the transgender issue, all of these children being mutilated, is so bad. All of these things go hand in hand, from the education system back to the medical industry. They go hand in hand. I'm about to go take a shower finally. these things really upset me. I wish that I had a better outlet to, I mean, YouTube is great, and I love all of my followers. Thank you guys so much. But I wish that people understood more how severe this is, how severe, how progressive this illness is that we have in society. And I don't know how to put my finger on what it's called, but I wish that people knew the umbrella effect, the trickle down effect, how this is going to affect future generations, our children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren. There's a sickness in society that we've got to snuff out. We've got to go back to policy, procedure, ethics, morals. We have to bring some accountability back to all of these systems, whether it's education or medical, and it is imperative that we do so, because if we don't, Trump's not, you know, the last president of this country. In 4 years, we're going to have somebody else. We're going to be in the same position that we were in, you know, previous to November. So we have to make huge changes the next 4 years to ensure some sanity and stability in this country for the good of all. You know, a lot of people, specifically people on the left, they don't even realize how lost they are. I was on the left at one point, so that's why another reason I talk about these things, because I was so fucking lost. I really believed what everybody told me, and it was only when I got away from everybody and I took a step back from society that I realized that I belong on the right and my beliefs align with the right, and I'm a traditional woman, and I want my kids to grow up in a traditional world because that's what's the better good for society. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Hello, hello, I'm going to shower. I keep stealing that woman's hello, hello. You know who I'm talking about? I love her cooking videos. I love her cooking videos. Hello, hello. She's got the 20-year-old pickle brine or something. She's got a 15-year-old jar. I think it's 17-year-old jar of like pickled vegetables. I don't know what her name is. I love her. Hello, hello. She always says that. All right, I'm going to shower and to find a bra. And I've got to work. I've got so much stuff to do. I got to make phone calls before I can even shower. Sucks. The beach is so pretty, but it's foggy. You can't even see out there. It looks just like fog. You can't even see the ocean or nothing. I hope you guys have a good morning. Y'all be safe out there. I'm going to get showered and bills paid and finish getting ready for my day. I want to get ready. I think it's going to be kind of warm today. Tomorrow it's supposed to be 76, so I'm going to enjoy that. But we'll talk this afternoon, and y'all be safe. Y'all be safe. Pray for me, because God knows I need it, and I'm praying